Okay.
Here. Message is that we do not want E-Verify to pass the House or the Senate and become a mandatory practice in America. The bill was introduced 2 weeks ago by Representative Lamar Smith of Texas, and we want to stop it before it gets to the Senate. We would like to stop it in the House if possible.
Down with E-Verify!
Boom, boom!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify!
Boom, boom!
Up with the people!
Boom, boom!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify!
Boom, boom!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify!
Boom, boom!
Immigrant workers are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Immigrant workers are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
People!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify!
Boom, boom!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify!
Boom.
Immigrant workers are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight
The
back!
only real and lasting solution is comprehensive immigration reform, the one strategy we haven't tried yet. For 20 years, our government has employed the deportation-only strategy to solve our immigration problem, and it hasn't worked thus far. First, they said the border fence would solve the problem. Now they say we need mandatory E-Verify. Tomorrow, it will be something else.
For the next 2 months, anti-immigrant politicians in Congress will be pushing mandatory E-Verify. The legislation will require all businesses and employers to check the immigration status of every single worker in America.
Their goal with mandatory E-Verify is to force 11 million undocumented immigrants and their families to willingly leave the country. But there's no way that a mandatory E-Verify will force 11 million undocumented immigrants to pack their bags and deport themselves. E-Verify will lay off millions of immigrant work and devastate families and community in every town, in every state across the country. It will send immigrants into the cash economy, reduce taxes.
Would you please, we'll go out, I'll walk out with you, please.
He'll listen.
Let's go.
Give me your letter.
We actually want Kirk to listen. We want
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se
How are you?
Due to the error rate of the program, the government estimates that E-Verify will force up to 4.1 million American workers to spend time and money getting their records corrected by a government agency in order to keep jobs they already have.
It will also have terrifying implications for agriculture. It is estimated that up to 75% of the U.S. agricultural labor force is comprised of unauthorized workers. Mandatory E-Verify will destroy the U.S. agriculture industry by driving up food costs, sending jobs overseas, and forcing us to import more of our produce from foreign sources.
There's
Who
a
are
few
you,
of us
sir?
that can talk, pardon?
Who are you?
I'm a precinct committeeman, and I know everybody in that room, and if you guys would all come this way, I promise you, I'll talk to you.
Well, actually, we'd like to have a meeting with Kinzinger if he'd agree to a meeting.
Here's the deal, I'm just a small guy.
I know.
I'm just a small guy, but you know what? I have a big voice,
Can you get someone who
and I'll
can
talk,
make
and I'll
that
talk.
decision?
Pardon?
Can
What?
you get someone who can make that decision?
Yeah.
If we come outside, let's talk.
But we won't stay out here until we get an answer on a meeting within the next 2 weeks.
We're not able to get a meeting.
You know what? I can't promise anything like that,
Okay?
but I can
Let's
promise
run through a
this.
program and then we'll be done.
If you give me your name, you and I can talk.
I'm Sonny Garcia from Illinois People's Action.
I'm Mark Brown, and I live I'm
We'll
from
be done with this
Bloomington.
program in a minute.
We reject mass deportation and call on Republicans in Congress to stop offering up fantasies and take a dose of reality. Instead of playing politics with the issue, Republicans in Congress should work with Democrats to pass comprehensive immigration reform that requires undocumented workers to get legal, pay taxes, and undergo background checks on their way to become full U.S. citizens. Any way you look at it, comprehensive immigration reform is the smarter, more practical, and fiscally responsible approach. We need our leaders in Washington to work together and pass comprehensive immigration reform and vote no on E-Verify.
Say up with the people! Yeah, yeah! Say down with the verify!
Boom, boom.
Say up with the people!
Yeah, yeah.
Say down with the verify!
Boom, boom.
Say up with...
Earlier this month, a mandatory E-Verify bill like the one now before us in Congress came up in Florida legislature. Most assumed the bill would pass easily into law, given the Republican majority and the anti-immigration position of the governor of Florida. But people like you chose to stand up and fight back.
Yeah!
They successfully split the Republican Party in Florida, defeated the bill, and won a stunning victory. Now it's our turn to do the same thing.
¡Sí se puede!
We can together bring pressure on our senators to guarantee that the destructive bill will never pass in the Senate. And number two, Many of us took at face value the promises that President Obama made during his campaign, that he would deliver immigration reform in his first years in office. We are still waiting for that promise, while his administration continues to detain and deport more people than did his predecessors. We must continue to pressure the president to work harder and do the right thing. We need him to promise publicly that he will veto any E-Verify bill if it does not also reform immigration. We have seen over and over again that this president only acts under pressure. Together, we can create that pressure.
E-Verify is hitting Central Illinois right now. Just last week, a small business owner in a rural town in Central Illinois was hit by a big-time raid by ICE and the local police. They handcuffed and shackled his entire staff during peak business hours. And that ain't right. That ain't right! That is why we must let Congressman Kinzinger, Senator Kirk know that we do not support any kind of anti-immigrant legislation. And we will continue to come back and put pressure on both parties, Republicans and Democrats, and the Obama administration, who is worse than any other previous administration when it comes to deportation and raids. The attacks on immigrants must stop. We need comprehensive immigration reform now and a stop to E-Verify.
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
We'll be back. 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 We'll be back.
Vencido, el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. I got my people, yeah, they got a story. Yeah, tell the whole wide world this is people's territory. Got my people, yeah, they got a story. Yeah, tell the whole wide world this is people's territory. Got my people, yeah, they got a story. Yeah, tell the whole wide world this is people's territory. Got my people, yeah, we got a story. Yeah, tell the whole wide world this is people's territory. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrant workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back.
Police need a raise! 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 Police need a raise!
Crime wave of war.
The people united shall never be defeated. The people united shall never be defeated. The people united shall never be defeated. The people united shall never be defeated.
So what do we say?
Police need a raise! Police need a raise! Police need a raise! Police need a raise! Police need a raise!
Let's walk left, everybody. Stay together. Up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
Up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
Up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
I said up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
I said down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
I said down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
I said up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
I said up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
I said up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
I said down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
Said up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
Jump up with the people.
Yeah, yeah!
Down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
Down with E-Verify.
Boom, boom!
The next steps in opposing E-Verify?
The next steps, I believe, would be to guarantee secure meetings with Kinzinger and Kirk in order to discuss with them whether or not they're for E-Verify or against it. And if they are for it, we would like to present our case as to why they should not be and why this should not become a law in America.